One day, as the warm sun bathed the dusty roads of Judea, a traveler set out on a journey from Jerusalem to Jericho. The road was steep and winding, cutting through rocky hills and lonely stretches of land. It was a dangerous road, known for lurking bandits hiding among the rocks, waiting for an unsuspecting traveler to pass by. As the man walked along, enjoying the cool morning breeze, trouble struck. A group of fierce robbers jumped out from behind the rocks. Before he could run, they grabbed him, beat him badly, and took everything he had, even his clothes. Then, leaving him half dead on the side of the road, they vanished into the wilderness. The man lay there groaning in pain, unable to move. The sun rose higher, and the heat pressed down on him. His vision blurred. Would anyone find him? Would anyone care? Just then, footsteps echoed on the path. A priest was coming. He was dressed in fine robes and walked with purpose. Surely, a man of God would help. But when the priest saw the wounded man, he froze. His face twisted in concern, but then he glanced around and quickly stepped to the other side of the road. He didn't want to get involved. Perhaps he was in a hurry to the temple. Perhaps he feared the robbers were still nearby. Either way, he walked right past the suffering man and disappeared down the road. The wounded man moaned weakly, but the priest was gone. A little while later, another man came down the road. A Levite, someone who helped in the temple. He saw the injured man lying there and paused. He took a step closer and studied him. But then he shook his head and backed away. Maybe he thought, this man is already dying. What can I do? Maybe he feared he would become unclean if he touched him. Whatever his reason, he too crossed to the other side and hurried away. By now the sun was blazing. The injured man barely clung to life. His hope was fading. Then he heard the clip-clop of hooves. Another traveler was approaching, a Samaritan riding a donkey. Now, Samaritans and Jews didn't get along. They were considered enemies, and people avoided each other whenever possible. But this Samaritan was different. When he saw the man lying on the roadside, he didn't look away. He didn't step aside. Instead, his heart filled with compassion. Quickly, he jumped off his donkey, rushed to the man's side, and knelt down. He took out oil and wine from his bag, valuable supplies for his own journey, and carefully cleaned the man's wounds. Then he tore some cloth and bandaged him up. But he didn't stop there. He gently lifted the man onto his own donkey and led him slowly down the road, making sure he didn't fall. After traveling some distance, the Samaritan reached an inn. He carefully helped the wounded man inside and laid him on a soft bed. "Please take care of him," the Samaritan told the innkeeper. He reached into his pouch and pulled out 2 silver coins, a generous amount of money. "This should cover his stay and his care. If you need more, I'll pay when I return." The innkeeper nodded, impressed by such kindness. Jesus finished telling the story and looked at the people around him. "Now," he asked, "which of these 3 was a true neighbor to the man who was attacked?" The answer was clear. "The one who showed him mercy," someone replied. Jesus smiled. "Go and do the same." This story teaches us that being a good neighbor isn't about who we like or where we come from. It's about showing kindness and love to anyone in need, just like the Good Samaritan.